Introduction. Dusk over the kingdom of Aterias, far north of Valeria, was a time when shadows whispered forgotten secrets. The Moon Elves, a noble and respected race, had been nearly wiped out many centuries ago by the evil sorcerer Malika and the corrupted Moon Elf Mordek. Only a few of their number had survived, and their culture and wisdom were now a forgotten tale for most. Mordek had hunted Blafang for centuries. Over the millennia, the dragon had seen his friends and allies fall one by one. Every day was a struggle for survival, filled with sorrow and longing. Blafang had found a temporary refuge in the Rocky Mountains, where he could hide from Mordek's relentless pursuit. The high cliffs and deep caves offered shelter, but also a constant reminder of his isolation and the dangers lurking outside. Here, in a distant and hidden cave, he guarded a newborn moon elf child and a dragon egg, the last hope for their respective kin. The cave was a safe haven. The newborn moon elf child, Alara, lay in deep sleep, protected by an ancient enchantment ensuring she would not awaken until the time was right. The priceless dragon egg lay beside her, nestled in soft moss and shielded by the dragon's magical aura. Blafang rested, exhausted, at the mouth of the cave. His body was covered in wounds from a brutal battle against Mordek's forces, and his powers were nearly depleted. But he knew he could not give up. He bore a heavy responsibility, for both the priceless dragon egg and the newborn moon elf child, Alara. Suddenly, there was a thud behind him. Aron, an elf with strong ties to the life tree's magic, stood there, his eyes filled with compassion and determination. "Blafang," Aron said, "you have fought bravely. Let me help you." Blafang met Aron's gaze, and with one last effort, he entrusted the responsibility for Alara and the dragon egg to him. "Protect them," he whispered. "They're our last hope." Aron nodded, his heart heavy with responsibility. He swore by the life tree to protect Alara and the dragon egg to his last breath. As Blafang slowly fell into a deep sleep, filled with the peace he had not felt in millennia, he could finally rest with the certainty that their future was in good hands. The trees of Aterias, as tall as mountains and reaching towards the sky, were symbols of hope and strength. At the roots of the trees, Blafang and Aron met, their conversation filled with both hope and sorrow, discussing the final plans to defend their world against Mordek's evil. After a long and painful journey, Blafang finally rested at the foot of the life tree. His journey had come to an end, and he could feel a peace he had not experienced in millennia. Though he knew his time was over, there was a glimmer of hope for the future, for the priceless dragon egg and the young Alara, who were now safe. Aron looked at the sleeping Alara and the shimmering dragon egg with a mixture of reverence and determination. He knew that they both represented the last hope for the Moon Elves and the Elf people. He took on the responsibility with a sense of duty and honor. He swore by the life tree to protect them to his last breath. The Moon Elves were known for their wisdom, their strong connection to the moon, and their magical ability to manipulate moonlight. Their culture was rich in traditions, and their society was built on principles of peace and balance with nature. Their annihilation by Malika and Mordek was not only a physical destruction, but also an attempt to erase their knowledge and heritage from history. This made their struggle and Blafang's mission to preserve their legacy all the more important. Blafang himself held a special place in their mythology. As one of the oldest and wisest dragons, he had been their protector for millennia. His guarding of the dragon egg and the newborn moon elf child, Alara, symbolized both hope and the difficult struggle for survival. Aron, an elf from the life tree's people, represented the tireless will to protect and preserve what remained of their world. He was a brave and loyal elf, who with his connection to the life tree's magic, would play a crucial role in the upcoming battle against evil. For the Moon Elf people, Blafang's final sacrifice and Aron's promise of protection would live on in stories and legends, a reminder of their culture and strength that would never be forgotten.